Hello, everyone. Dan here from the Next Issue Podcast. On today's video, we're going to be talking about the latest episode of Bleach Thousand Year Blood War, episode 35. Don't Chase a Shadow. What a magnificent episode! I have been waiting for this one as well. There are a couple of fights that I remember from reading the manga that I've really been looking forward to. Mayuri versus Pernita, at least part one. That was definitely one of the ones that I was looking forward to. And then here we have Shinsui and Lily Baro uh, facing off in this pretty much really faithful adaptation of the manga. Not a lot of stuff has been added. Some of the things have been reworked just because they don't make sense anymore in the order of things that are being presented. But overall, just fantastic episode. A lot of really good fan service. Like if you're a loyal manga reader, like you have been really rewarded in the past couple of episodes. You can also kind of tell like these are some of Kubo's favorite characters, at least in my opinion, just for the amount of page time that they get and now screen time. So yeah, we start off with a quick recap and a preview of what's going to be part two of Mayori and Perdita, right? We see Mayori's bankai exploding after having eaten all the hands. What does that mean? What is that gonna, what is that gonna entail? That'll be left for us to see. We already know the next episode is gonna be called "Baby Hold My Hand" Part Two, or number two. So we'll definitely get the conclusion of that here. So we begin with Lily Barrow and Shinsui, um, which is a really interesting matchup again. And I think one of the standout things for me in this episode was that Shinsui finally kind of really assuming and like really kind of falling into this role of the head captain, right? So far he's such a laid back fella that it just sometimes doesn't feel like a leadership position like this is natural for him. But here we finally, not only as a viewer, but like even other characters acknowledge it, right? I think Shinji is one of the ones that say, what would Ukitake have said about Shunsui's decision to stay behind to fight Lily Barrow and have everybody keep moving forward, or what would even head Captain Yamamoto would have said about that as well. So like they would have never questioned an order like that from him. There's some really cool panels where you can really see, or some really cool, I guess, scenes that are from the panels that you can really see, like, oh, we want to make sure that you understand that he's cool, like he's a cool dude. Something that I find really funny, and I'm sure it's been talked about online, is that why does he always get to fight the guys with the guns, right? His big fight with an Espada was against Stark, who also wielded guns. And of course, Lily Barrow wields that Reishi gun that, shoots really in multiple styles. So we do see that. I think one of the coolest things was when he gets originally sniped and then seeing him kind of come behind Lily Barrow using his Sanpakto are probably some of the funnest abilities that we have seen. So that was really rewarding to just kind of like appreciate and have some time to spend with understanding all those abilities, right? Because it is all very much children's game based, he has to explain the rules. That's part of it. So that was really, it just really works. It just really works because it doesn't feel like exposition. It just feels like natural things that have to happen in the story, while still filling in the audience on what's going on, so we can understand it. Also, in an animated medium, it's a lot easier to cover some of those things as opposed to just like showing it through panels, which Kubo is fantastic at doing some of that stuff, but some stuff just really works better when it's moving. That's just kind of the nature of it, and we'll talk more about that in a minute. There's a really beautiful way that this episode is animated, just the approach to it. We don't get to see a lot of the other characters. We see very brief cameos from Ichigo while he's having his own fight. After Grimjack got taken down, we see some of the other members of the Gotei 13. So yeah, I think it's gonna be interesting. Like, I like the idea that these fights are all kind of happening at the same time, as opposed to like this fight happens and then this fight happens, which in the manga, like they were, it would be really hard to cut back and forth between the fights. So it makes sense that each few chapters would focus on one specific fight in the manga, but they can do so much more with the anime. uh I love, and this is probably the highlight of the episode, when Shinsui unleashes his Bankai. We get to see Lily Barrow's holy form as well, which after him having to open his eyes 3 times, we learn that he is the first Quincy that received powers and a gift from Yuhobak, and that makes him the man closest to God, as he calls himself. And then, of course, we see Shinju's Bankai, which is very theatrical, like literally very theatrical. There are 4 acts, very similar to Yamamoto having the different faces, right? North, south, east, and west. So learning definitely well from his teacher. And it's beautiful. We get to see his Sanpakto spirit, like which we had met before. I don't remember even. I think in the manga we had already learned about that character, so it's really fun to kind of see that paying off. The filler episodes with the Sanpakto are kind of getting retroactively confirmed that those are things that really could have happened just because of all the stuff that shows up in when we meet some of the Sanpakto later on. Um, and yeah, we have one more Bankai revealed, and it's really really cool. Uh, like I said, very theatrical, very art, like a beautiful art. And I think what really makes it stand out is the way the music swells up as he's kind of going through this, and the voice acting for Shinsu specifically, like very deep voice, very like it's fun to hear the chill, laid back tone of the character completely changed to a serious tone. Great contrast there. So yeah, love this episode. Absolutely banger. So if you're enjoying Bleach Thousand Year Blood War arc, which I don't know how many episodes we have left, we probably have uh Mayuri and Pernita part 2. We have a follow up to this one as well, and then we probably will end up with maybe 2 or 3 with some of the one last fight to kind of close out the core. So yeah, there's not a lot left. I think maybe 5 or 6 episodes at most. I don't remember what number episode of the season this is, but very exciting stuff. Lovely to see. So, if you are excited about this, let me know what you thought about this episode. As always, thank you for watching, everyone. Remember to share, like, subscribe, hit the bell so you know when we go live. That is most Saturdays, 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. And stay tuned because we have more comic reviews, trailer reactions, TV recaps, all that fun stuff here in the channel. Thanks for watching, everyone. Bye bye.